So hello guys, I'm Mohammed Isal, founder of Lowerated, and today I'm going to be answering some questions related to LM6. I shouldn't be wasting time. Let's get right into it. The first question, what is LM6? Well, LM6 is another movie rating algorithm that uses AI to generate its results. It looks at context of what people have talked about. There are 7 different aspects that it looks into, and it's not just rating a movie based on some scale, it's looking into what people have actually talked about, which is the reviews. So, review driven, statistically and democratically accurate movie rating algorithm. That is LM6. Now, what's the second question? It's why is it called LM6? Well, it's called LM6 because uh, it's the lower rated module 6, and this is the sixth module that I'm building for lower rated. I literally have an Excel sheet and it's just a chat with books, a bunch of other modules that some failed, some worked, and the sixth one is the movie rating algorithm. Even though this is the first thing I thought of when I thought of lower rated, but yeah, this is the this is why I named it LM6. It's literally in the sixth row of the Excel sheet. That's why it's called LM6. What's the third question? What inspired the idea behind LM6? Well, I was in my advanced stats class and my teacher was talking about how these how you rate products, and the star rating is kind of flawed because somebody can say, oh, this product was bad, I'll just give it 3 out of 5 rating, and there's somebody who's just pessimistic by nature and they just an average product is 3 out of 5 for them. Now, two different views are represented by the same number. Without knowing the context, you cannot differentiate the feeling behind the number. So, can you judge a product if it has 3 out of 5 rating? Based on the audience. So you look into the reviews to get that context. And that's exactly what LM6 does. It just looks into the reviews and see other bits and pieces of information that the star rating is not giving you. Yeah, that was the idea behind it. It was just it came into came into my mind that, oh, okay, maybe the IMDb ratings, those things are also flawed if that product rating is flawed. So, oh, who am I and how am I connected to LM6? Why I I literally wrote the algorithm to rate movies this LM6. So yeah, I'm him. I'm that guy. Why did I start working on LM6? It's because I wanted to work in the film industry, and so while I was searching for problems that are actually there, not just because I like a certain industry and I can just go and start working somewhere in the industry. I actually started looking for the problems that I could solve, and I couldn't find anything at the time. And at that time, I found just okay, the ratings are just flawed. That was the first thing that I found. But there's a bunch of other things that can be improved. This is not really a big problem. But I had to make it, I had to get it out of my head to solve everything, really solve the problem that I just found. That's why I made LM6. Now, it's not that it's any better than any other algorithm out there, it's just a different way of looking at it. So you can look at IMDb ratings, you can look at Rotten Tomatoes ratings, and you can look at these ratings. It's just another way of looking at it. Where did the idea originate? I think it's the same question from the advanced statistics class. Why did I create LM6? Because I wanted to solve the problem. I saw this problem in the film industry. I loved movies, and yeah, I created the algorithm. Initially, the algorithm was for movies, music, and books, but then it shifted to only movies. I had to restrict the aspects. So for 7 aspects of a movie, I'll talk about them, what they are. It's the cinematography, the production design, the characters, the emotions, the unique concept, and there's two more. Which two more? I'll just write them here somewhere. Yeah, but those seven aspects are, if I had to train a separate model to understand those seven aspects. So if I had to train three different models and generate three different data sets, which was difficult at the time. So yeah, I just abandoned those for the books and music. But this is really scalable. The algorithm can be applied on any other rating, any other entity as well. It's not just for movies. It can be applied on music. It can be applied on any object that you want to rate. Anything, literally. You just need the reviews, the data to train the model, and certain aspects that are related to that item, and you got it. Okay, why focus on AI? My degree is data science, so and in this modern age, we most of our courses are related to AI, and once you start studying it, you start to see a lot of problems that can be solved with AI. Now, it's not that you're killing an ant with a gun. It's just if it cannot be solved statistically with just an algorithm, you just use AI. Now, it's not completely AI in this case as well. So if you look at the research paper we've written for LM6, it's there's really a minor part that contains AI. It's just the if somebody have has written a review and we extract the relevant chunk of that review that is related to one of the aspects of LM6, that part is done by AI, and then is that chunk is it talking positively about the movie or negatively about the movie? That is also AI. So these are the two places where AI is used. The rest of it is just math. You can read it in here somewhere. I'll just put it somewhere here. Why are there seven aspects to LM6? For this, I had to conduct a bunch of surveys to find out what are the things that are really important in a movie. And there are seven. If a lot of people have said if there were six, it would have been really cool if it was six aspects and then it was LM6. Yeah, there are seven. It's not six. It's odd. Yeah, it is how it is. So the seven aspects, I had to conduct a lot of surveys to find out that okay, these are the seven things that can really tell about a movie, and everything basically lies inside the seven. Now, there's a lot of philosophical elements to it. There's a lot of things that you can add, and you can say, yeah, this can also be an aspect. This can also be an aspect. Philosophy and story, whatever. I think it will all lie somewhere inside those seven. Now, next question. Why is now the right time for LM6? Now is the right time because I made it now. Really. If somebody had made it earlier, yeah, it would have been the right time at that time. But I've been thinking about this for around 2 years and I had made the algorithms. I just didn't know how to really implement it. I mean, I had the formulas, I just didn't have the AI part of it. So then I had it and I just made it. Yeah, that's how it is. How does LM6 work? I think I explained it a bit early. Yeah, it works. It looks at multiple reviews, extracts the chunks that are relevant to any of the aspects, any of the seven aspects, and then it does some sentimental analysis to find out if that chunks of reviews are positive or negative, and then it gets a value, and then it aggregates the value into another value, and then there's weighted mean assigned to each aspect. So if somebody's talking badly about the production design, does not mean that the movie is overall bad. So the weightage of that negativity is low. And if somebody talks about the story negatively, then yeah, if story is bad, then obviously uh, there's some huge factor that's lacking. So then we assign those weightages, and then we finally get 7 different numbers for 7 different aspects, and then there's final one number that's called LM6 number. And how does it reflect my vision for the future of AI? LM6 really is something that the complex form of it would be somewhere in the near future, where the AI can actually judge a movie by looking at the movie and then writing a critique. So before you release it to the audience, it will give you a good analysis on how the movie is, how it can be improved. There are certain aspects that are lacking, or there can be artistic choices that you can just tell AI that no, that's the way I do it. So don't tell me what to do. There can be those sort of ratings as well that will help the production team in improving the overall film. This is the second difficult question. What's the one problem LM6 solves better than anything else, and why does that matter today? I think one problem that it solves, that it creates this generalized formula that you can apply on anything basically related to reviews. Even on Instagram comments, you can apply it on YouTube videos, comments, anywhere where people have given their opinion, you can turn it into a number to really represent the overall view of that people, given that you know and understand the entity that the people are talking about. I think I'm talking a bit complicated, but those who get it, they get it. And why does that matter today? It matters. That's such a philosophical question. It matters to me, and it matters to some people. I have I've seen people resonate with it. I've seen people collaborate to it, and that's what matters, you know? If it's making even a minor difference, but it's making a difference, yeah, it's good. What was the toughest challenge you faced while building LM6, and how did you overcome it? Okay, this part, I would say the first part is for the longest time, I couldn't figure out what AI model to train on, which part should I train it. That was difficult. Then once I figured that out, then the data set, oh, I had to get data set from IMDb, the Rotten Tomatoes, and the reviews of people talking, and it was a mess to get that data and then clean it, because the data I got was so bad. It was just dates written inside it. There was like a multiple things inside that those reviews that you could only remove with AI to clean it. So after the cleaning process, the next thing was the resources. Resources were really tough to get. So getting a 24 gig GPU, 3080, 3090, whatever, 4090, you can get better GPUs. Online is difficult, so if you run the code on Collab, it will give you access for a limited amount of time, but then it will just crash. You can run it on Kaggle, but that's also limited. There's also cloud solutions, but they're also paid, and we are working with zero budget. We could have spent some bucks on it. We did as well, but it just essentially what we had to do was to find a resource that could run for weeks without without it turning off, and that was difficult to get. And eventually we got it. If someone could use LM6 in a way you never expected, what would be the most exciting possibility? One of the ways I never expected it is I where I worked as a full-time, somebody actually referenced LM6 to as a formula, and they said, okay, my formula is rating this specific thing. Oh, and I'm using the LM6 approach. to rate it. And that was really wonderful. It's always unexpected to for people to actually look at one thing and then apply it on another thing. So I think those guys are training a model to replicate the LM6 for a different entity than movies. It was really cool. Where do you see LM6 in 5 years, and how do you think it will shape the future of its industry? Okay, it's it's not really going to disrupt the industry, and it's not something that will that is of a really significant cause, and it's really helping somebody. It's just giving people a different view of looking at a movie, like Google reviews and IMDb reviews, Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and now this is just another semi AI democratic r- rating, you know. And so there's really nothing deep to it if you look at it. The actual things that we're working on are something different. They are a challenge that actual people face. LM6 is not really solving a challenge that people face. It's just a different solution to movie rating, and you need reviews for that. Now, a lot of people don't review, and that is also a question that people ask. And a lot of my friends don't review. I have never reviewed, have never rated. Yeah, and that's why probably your rating doesn't matter. Okay, that's not the point. But if somebody writes a review, they probably feel strongly about that movie, and they must write something meaningful. Even if they don't, we can remove that irrelevant information. So yeah, it just better reflects what the general audience is thinking about a movie. Yeah, there's a lot of 10 out of 10s because some people are just okay with giving 10 out of 10s to a movie they just enjoy it. They didn't look at everything like characters, whatever, whatever. But if somebody did, their view should matter as well. It's good for the critics, it's good for everyone. It's good for the productions as well. So they can improve. And yeah, that's the LM6 Q&A. I'm looking down and up, down and up, down and up because my screen is there, my camera is there, and the questions are there. I just have to constantly switch eyes, so apologies for that. This is Lowerated, where art is appreciated. Goodbye.